Trust Me TV.
What really killed the dinosaurs? Was it the colossal asteroid, or was there another silent killer? For decades, the story seemed clear-cut. A massive asteroid, equivalent in might to Mount Everest, collided with Earth, unleashing a cataclysmic chain of events. Imagine a fiery blast, seismic shock waves, and a global cloud of dust dark enough to turn day into night. This was the asteroid impact theory, widely accepted as the grim reaper that ended the reign of the dinosaurs. Yet this explanation, as convincing as it appears, may not hold all the answers. Enter the Deccan Traps, a vast volcanic region in what is now India. This geological giant was stirring, perhaps ominously, even before the asteroid made its dramatic entrance. Could these volcanic fields, spewing lava and toxic gases over thousands of years, be the real architects of disaster? But as we dive deeper, a different story begins to unfold, one that challenges our understanding of this ancient mystery. 66 million years ago, Earth was a realm of giants, a kingdom unlike any other. At this time, the late Cretaceous period painted a picture of a world brimming with life and diversity. The planet was enveloped in a climate that was among the hottest and most humid ever recorded. Lush jungles and dense woodlands stretched across continents, even reaching into what we now know as the polar regions. These areas, surprisingly, thrived with forests of prehistoric pines and ferns, resilient through the months of darkness during the polar night. Imagine skies filled with the majestic flight of pterosaurs, their wings casting large shadows over the rich flora below. The oceans, vast and mysterious, were home to an array of marine giants. Long-necked plesiosaurs navigated the depths alongside colossal marine lizards, their size and grace a spectacle of nature's design. And on land, the rule was simple. If you were larger than 1 meter, you were likely a dinosaur. These dinosaurs were not just any creatures, they were one of the most successful groups of animals to have ever walked the Earth. Their dominion over the planet spanned over 150 million years. This era showcased an ecosystem so robust and so well adapted that it seemed invincible. But even in this thriving world, subtle signs of distress whispered through the air and soil. The climate's extreme conditions pushed the resilience of these ecosystems to their limits. The vibrant life, while flourishing, was unknowingly skating on thin ice. As the period progressed, the Earth continued to nurture this explosive diversity of life, but beneath the surface, forces were at work that would challenge the very existence of these magnificent creatures. The stage was set, the actors were in place, and the script of natural history was about to introduce a twist so dramatic it would forever alter the course of life on this planet. This thriving world, however, was on the brink of an apocalypse. Long before the asteroid's arrival, another force was stirring beneath India, the Deccan Traps. This vast volcanic region, spanning nearly 1,000 kilometers, was on the brink of awakening from its slumber, preluding an event that would challenge the survival of an entire era. The Deccan Traps were not your everyday volcanoes. They were part of one of the largest volcanic features on Earth, created by the movement of tectonic plates that allowed magma from deep within the Earth's mantle to reach the surface. This geological marvel, although majestic, was a ticking time bomb beneath the lush rainforests and exotic wildlife of ancient India. The apocalypse began not with a bang, but a whisper. Approximately 800,000 years before the asteroid would mark its impact, the Deccan Traps began to exhale. It started subtly. About 10 million tons of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide were released into the atmosphere each year. Initially, these figures may not have raised alarms, but they were merely the quiet before the storm. As centuries passed, these volcanic emissions did not cease. Instead, they accumulated, slowly but relentlessly, altering the Earth's atmosphere. The skies began to fill with gases that trapped more heat, gradually warming the planet and shifting the climate. This change was so gradual that its initial stages were almost imperceptible to the thriving ecosystems of the time. About 300,000 years before the infamous asteroid, the situation escalated dramatically. The volcanoes of the Deccan Traps transitioned from silent gas emitters to violent purveyors of destruction. The region began to experience what can only be described as a lava flood, with molten rock spewing forth in an almost continuous stream, punctuated by more explosive eruptions that sent shockwaves through the surrounding environments. This relentless volcanic activity began to transform the paradise of ancient India into a hellscape. The once vibrant rainforests and diverse ecosystems were now under threat from the very ground they flourished upon. What initially seemed a minor event was quietly setting the stage for a catastrophe. The stage was set, the actors in place, and the drama of natural history was about to unfold a scene of unimaginable scale. Imagine a landscape where the horizon is lined with erupting volcanoes. This was the dramatic scene unfolding in the Deccan region of what is now India, about 300,000 years before the asteroid that is often blamed for the extinction of the dinosaurs. As the Deccan traps escalated their activity, the eruptions became more frequent and increasingly violent. The earth beneath the lush jungles trembled as magma forced its way to the surface, creating fissures that spewed vast quantities of lava. These weren't ordinary volcanic eruptions. They were more akin to ruptures in the very skin of the planet, releasing floods of molten rock that scorched everything in their path. The air was thick with toxic fumes, as sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide were expelled in massive amounts. These gases mixed with the atmosphere, forming clouds of ash that blocked out the sun and cooled the planet's surface in some areas while heating it in others. This severe alteration of climate patterns had devastating effects on local ecosystems. Massive wildfires sparked by the intense heat and flowing lava began to consume the ancient forests. These fires were not isolated incidents but part of a chain reaction that obliterated habitats and the creatures that depended on them. The once vibrant jungles turned into charred landscapes, signaling the demise of numerous species. This was not just a local disaster, it was a slowly unfolding global threat. As the Deccan traps waged war against life, a celestial bullet was headed towards Earth. This wasn't a metaphorical bullet, but a literal one. An asteroid, approximately the size of Mount Everest, hurtling through space at unimaginable speeds. Its target? Our very own planet, and the impact was nothing short of catastrophic. Upon collision, the asteroid unleashed a fury that reshaped the face of Earth. Imagine the chaos. Massive tsunamis surged across the oceans, swallowing coastlines whole. Forests, once teeming with life, were set ablaze, creating global fires that scorched the Earth. The skies darkened with soot and ash, leading to what scientists describe as a nuclear winter. A severe and prolonged global cooling that disrupted seasons and decimated food chains. In stark contrast to the slow, creeping death dealt by the volcanic Deccan traps, the asteroid's impact was a swift and explosive event. The volcanoes had been slowly poisoning the atmosphere and oceans, setting off a chain reaction of environmental disasters. But the asteroid, it brought immediate and overwhelming devastation. It was an apocalyptic punctuation, a fiery full stop in the long sentence of the Cretaceous period. Between these two colossal forces, Earth's ecosystems were caught in a pincer grip. On one side, years of volcanic winter, on the other, a sudden plunge into darkness and cold from the dust cloud kicked up by the asteroid. The question remains, was the asteroid the coup de grace, or merely a distraction from the real killer? With two formidable suspects, the case of the dinosaur extinction is far from closed. In the grand narrative of Earth's history, the demise of the dinosaurs stands as a perplexing enigma, a cold case reopened with new evidence and fresh perspectives. On one hand, we have the colossal asteroid, striking with the force of 1,000,000 nuclear bombs, casting a shadow over the planet with its dust, leading to a catastrophic winter that challenged the survival of the mighty dinosaurs. On the other, the Deccan traps, a vast volcanic fortress, quietly laid the groundwork for disaster, spewing lethal gases and molten lava over thousands of years. The asteroid's dramatic entrance into Earth's atmosphere might seem like the obvious culprit. It's sudden, it's visible, and it aligns closely with the timing of the extinction. The impact would have sent shockwaves through the Earth's ecosystems, drastically altering the climate and blocking out the sun with debris, making survival for species dependent on sunlight and stable climates nearly impossible. However, the plot thickens with the slow burn of the Deccan traps. This volcanic activity wasn't just a series of eruptions, but a prolonged environmental shift. The massive amounts of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide released into the atmosphere could have gradually transformed the climate, acidifying the oceans and making the air toxic. This scenario suggests a more insidious, creeping doom that weakened the ecosystems long before the asteroid struck. Could it be that these two events worked in tandem to seal the fate of the dinosaurs? The timing of the volcanic activity and the asteroid impact might suggest a 1-2 punch, an environmental double jeopardy that overwhelmed the resilience of the prehistoric world. The intertwining of these catastrophic events highlights the complexity of Earth's systems and the challenges in unraveling historical extinctions. Each layer of sediment and each fossilized bone holds pieces of this puzzle, waiting for keen scientific minds to put them together. As detectives of Earth's deep past, we continue to piece together clues, hoping to one day fully understand the demise of the dinosaurs.
Share this documentary with your friends, and you are interested in this type of documentary videos, so subscribe and visit the channel for more interesting videos. Thank you for watching.